Michael Bernstein from Gesher LaTorah. We're so excited that you are here. How are you? Shabbat Shalom.
I am good. I am good. Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Wonderful. I hear that you've got some words of Torah to share with us.
I do have some words of Torah to share, and I am delighted to have an opportunity to share them with you, especially with everybody in their own homes waiting for Shabbat. And of course, this weekend is also another very special occasion, and that is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, a day for celebrating and a day of remembering and a day for learning, because part of Dr. King's legacy, as I know you know and you've been learning, is that we continue to come back and think about what he said, and even more importantly, what he did. You might notice that behind me, I have a very special speech, and can anybody tell? I guess the best way to do it would be chat. What is behind me, and why is it marked up the way that it is?
The chat is open, so y'all can go ahead and comment in the chat.
You see what that is? What speech that is, and can you figure out why it is the I Have a Dream speech? And then what are all those markings on it? Yeah, it's in the trope. It's in a Haftorah trope. A friend of mine, who is also a rabbi, put these words to the trope. His name is Rabbi David Marcus, and he wanted to make sure that everyone knew that these words were not just words, but also like a prophecy, like the words of the prophet Isaiah or Ezekiel, because Dr. King spoke words, but they weren't just about the world that he was in, but also, like a prophet, the world he wanted to see. And also, he spoke to the heart of the people who were in the world that he was there, so that they knew what needed to happen to get to this other world. It wasn't just a prediction for the future. So I see people are still throwing in the chat. I'm going to ask you a different question, and it's a one-word answer, and just throw it in there. When you think of Dr. King, what is the first thing that you think of, the first word that you think of? I bet a couple of them are behind me. World peace, beautiful. Rights, excellent. Segregation, what he fought against. The dream, probably the word that people think of first. Peace, justice. Justice for me also. Wisdom, believer, love. You guys are amazing. These are all amazing ideas. I think justice is a really important one to keep in mind. Bravery, right? He knew that he was putting his life in danger, and he knew he would give his life for the cause if he had to, and he did. And I saw someone wrote, color doesn't matter, because those are the words that we have in the dream. So I want to give you my answer, which might be surprising. And my answer is this coin, which I can't possibly figure out how to show here. There it is. You see this coin? So this coin is worth 25 cents. It's a quarter. It has on it the picture of George Washington, a pretty amazing person, did a pretty amazing things. But the reason that I have this coin is because there's a beautiful teaching in our tradition that says that the difference between God and a king, who is just the king of a country, the king of a kingdom. In our case, we don't have a king, so a president like George Washington, is that when we make coins in our world, we make sure that they look exactly the same, right? So anytime you go into a place, this coin is going to look the same for everybody. It's got the head of George Washington, and it's got the picture of an eagle on the back. But God, when God makes us in God's image, right? Because we are all created in God's image, we are all completely different. Even twins, and I know there are some twins out there, are not exactly the same. They may look almost exactly the same, have almost exactly the same, maybe even have exactly the same DNA, but they're different because God makes each of us different. So a lot of people say that what Dr. King taught is that we're all the same, right? We're all the same. It doesn't matter, right? You're going to treat someone differently because they're black or they're Muslim or they're gay, or they're any way that you look at and say, this person is not the way I am. I look at them and they're different. They're Jewish. All of that, you'd say, no, 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 that's not true. We have to treat everyone the same. But that's not exactly right. What Dr. King was teaching from, the tradition he was teaching of, is that we're all created in God's image, which means we are not all the same. It's that no one is any more different than anybody else. None of you could be replaced by anybody else, right? If I lose this quarter and someone gives me another quarter, I still have 25 cents. But no one here is worth 25 cents. No one here is worth $1 million. No one here is worth any amount. We are all worth an infinite amount, uncountable amount. And because we cannot be replaced, no one is like anybody else. So we're in a Jewish school. We learn Jewish traditions. We look around and we see our Jewish community. That holds us together, but not every Jew is like every other Jew. We look in the world and we see people, and they may look different than us. They may act different from us. They may come from different places. They are in some way different, but they're no more different than the person sitting next to you now, because every human being is different. So the next time you see a coin, and I don't even know how often you do see a coin, but the next time you think about the fact that we have, all of these equal things so that we can say it's all worth the same, remember that one of the great lessons of our tradition, and a lesson that Dr. King put into action to change the world, is nobody is any more different than anyone else. We're each created in God's image. We each are irreplaceable, and we have to treat every person like they are worth the entire world. Shabbat Shalom. I hope this is a very meaningful weekend for all of you.
And thank you so much for those beautiful, beautiful words. It gives us a lot to think about this weekend. And today itself is actually Dr. King's birthday. So how much more appropriate could it be? So one thing that I love to do when it comes to Shabbat is sing. And we have not been doing enough singing lately, because singing is a really hard thing to do these days. But something we're really able to do now, everyone is at home, we can sing as loud as we want. So I want to see everybody singing along with Jacob. We've got some great songs. I'm going to turn it over to him. Jacob, back to you.
So in the spirit of MLK and his birthday and Black History Month coming up, I have decided to do one song by John Lennon, one visionary, and then another song by Bill Withers. If you guys are keen to your artists, you guys know what's coming up, but I'm going to teach it to the Bill Withers when it comes around. But for now, there's a song called Imagine. It's about building a world where we don't have to worry about anything that makes us us, you don't have to worry about hate, you don't have to worry about those kinds of things. There's one part I want to teach, and it's the most fun vocal part of the song. So can everyone go, ooh, ooh, ready, 3, and ooh, ooh. I'm sure you guys sounded great. And it goes like this. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no wars too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Here it is. Ooh, ooh. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
think we might have lost Jacob. That is okay. But that was fantastic. We'll see if he comes back in. If not, we've got another song ready to go. But I'm going to turn it over now to Miss Michelle, to Maura Michelle. How are you, Maura Michelle?
I'm great. It's so good to see you. I was really enjoying that song. But I'll take my turn now. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
So before I wanted to share a video with you guys. Before I do that, like we've all been saying, Monday we're observing Martin Luther King Day, and maybe this Monday, even more than in years past, it's a chance for us to think about tikkun olam, fixing the world, how we can treat each other, all people, like Rabbi Bernstein said, fairly and with kindness. And then my other side note, here's a fun fact about me. I love the show Glee. Does anyone love the show Glee? I do. It's great. And I'm kind of obsessed with it. And Glee, it's one of the things they like to do, these crazy kids, they do a mashup. And they'll, like Mr. Shu, that's the teacher, he will always say, let's do a mashup. And they combine two unlikely songs. And it turns out to be like this amazing experience. And you're like, how did they do that? They sing their hearts out, and it's great. So when I read the words from this week's Torah portion, it's when we talk about the plagues, and God says to Moses, go tell Pharaoh, let the Israelites leave from this land. But Moses appealed to God and said, the Israelites would not listen to me. How should Pharaoh listen to me? Because I have impeded speech. I don't speak well. I said, you know what Moses needs? He needs a mashup. He needs a mashup. He needs to combine his words with someone else's, someone's who's inspiring, a leader. What if, just hear me out, what if Moses and Martin Luther King had a mashup? That would be kind of amazing. So if Moses heard, maybe in the trope that Rabbi Bernstein was talking about, if Moses heard Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, and all of that Moses had in his head and God, that would be amazing. So if I want to share those words from Martin Luther King, but instead of me saying them, it's always better to hear them from preschoolers and kindergartners. So without any further ado, Robbie, Mr. Medwed, can you share that video, please?
I say to you today, my friends, don't even know the difficulties of today and tomorrow. I still have a dream. It is a dream. Deeply do that. An American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Okay, made of equal. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. On every mountainside. Let freedom ring. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. We free at last.
So Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Shabbat
That was so wonderful. And I'm super excited that Michelle, first, Maura Michelle, that was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm super excited to welcome back Jacob to lead us in one more song.
That was a great time for my Zoom to crash, huh? So I'm gonna do one verse and then I'm gonna teach us the chorus. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna do a little repeat after me so I can teach it. Ready? Repeat after me. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. Try that. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2. That was bad. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. And it's my turn. For it won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Okay, so that was 4. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. All right, let's try that all together. 1, 2, 3. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. 4, 5. It won't be long. Short. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So call me. So call me. So call me.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely perfect. And speaking of times where we need to lean on each other, we're going to turn it over to Dr. D. But before we do, I'm going to remove the spotlight on me. But I know that Dr. D loves it when we can all see each other. And I think today more than ever, we want us to be able to see each other's faces. So in just a moment, I want you to take your mouse and move it to the top right corner where it says view. And I want you to click on gallery view. And that way we can all see everybody's faces and see everyone as they're with us. And as Dr. D is talking to us, sharing some blessings and some thoughts on this week.
Well, thank you, Mr. Medwed. It's always a pleasure to be here and to be part of this community, this Kihila. This week, for me, I am thinking about the many, many blessings that we have, and we're going to share them with each other. But I did want to highlight a few pieces of blessings that I have been thinking about specifically this week. First of all, and I think we've heard this from Rabbi Bernstein, from Maura Michelle, from Jacob Chappelle, from Mr. Medwed, the blessing of people who have a vision to help make the world a better place. Yes, this weekend we honor Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. as being somebody who had a dream, who had a vision, and shared it with us, a way of making the world better at Tikkun Olam. But that's also us. It's our work. It's our work to continue to make the world a better place. I think of the blessings of the people that we love, the ones who are here, the ones who have left us and have taught us, and the ones who have left us recently. And in particular, I'm thinking about Marvin Fish, and I'm thinking about Bob Edelman, and I'm thinking about the blessings that we had to have them part of our community, to have them people that we loved. Right now, I've been thinking about that a lot in these past, honestly, in these past months, and in particular this past week. I've been thinking about the blessings of health and how much work it is to maintain our health and the people who help us do it. And I want to do a particular shout out. And I want everybody to give their shout out for our nurses, Nurse Jess Blatt and Nurse Joyce Tritt. They have been working day and night, literally day and night, for us to keep healthy, trying to make sure that we each individually and as a whole community stay healthy. And that is so important. It's helped us keep the school open, and it's helped us stay healthy. And I saw earlier today, and I'm sure there are a few other people who are on, and I've spoken to a lot of you who are frontline workers, and particularly those who are in the medical professions. There's so many of you who are working tirelessly in very difficult conditions to make sure that our broader community stays healthy. And I want to say thank you to you and for the blessings that you bring. And with all of that, also thinking about giving the blessings to the people that you love that are on the Zoom screen, to our Kihila, and to the people that you love that maybe are farther away. So everybody put out their hands, and we're going to be blessing together. And repeat after me. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. I hope this Shabbat we all find peace, we keep our health, and we continue to be blessed by those that we love and are all around us, and that we can give them our loves, and that we can get love from them. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shalom and amen. Thank you so much, Dr. D. We're going to wrap up in just a minute, but I have just a couple of announcements to make, things that are really, really important. It's been a while since we've had so many families and grandparents and visitors and potential students and all kinds of people on. So I want to make a special welcome, and we are so glad that so many of you joined us, whether you are a student, a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, just someone who's interested in the school. We are so glad to have you. I also want to tell you that Purim, believe it or not, and I'm having a really, really hard time believing it, is just around the corner. And our Mishloach Manot sale is live now. It's really important for you to participate, to buy some Mishloach Manot for everybody. And on January 27th, we are having a dress down day to get into the spirit. It's a tie-dye dress down day, so everyone be sure to participate. Then you should have gotten a code in the email this week so that you can purchase your Mishloach Manot. I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful weekend, a meaningful weekend, a Shabbat of Shalom and a Shabbat of rest. And like we do when it is an at-home Shabbat B'yachad, it's going to be chaos. I'm going to allow everyone to unmute in just a second. so that you can say hello to everybody. So if you got sensitive ears, you might want to turn your volume down. All right, folks, you are able to. Shalom. Wonderful.
I wanted to go last. Shalom, Chiquita Allah. Bye, guys.
Look at Josh, he's so funny.
School's over, yay. Wednesday.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Can't see it. Stop it. Hi, Robbie.
Hey, Miss Bornstein.
Hello, everyone.
No.